before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to talk a little bit about Patreon. So Patreon is a really cool place for artists to go and get sponsors. And now we have our own Patreon page, and we have several tiers, of course, that start at like $1 a month, which is really, it's not a lot. If you're sponsoring a kid from Africa, you're paying a lot more than that. Keep doing that too, by the way. Don't cancel that. But just add an extra $1 a month and send it to us, and we'll give you a shout out. So that's the first tier. We have other tiers that go all the way up to, I think, $100 a month, and where we give away, shirts and hats and podcasts and all sorts of really cool stuff. So anyway, we are on patreon.com/chew on this podcast. Again, keep giving to the kids in Africa. That's a really good cause. Make a wish, all that's a good cause. But Patreon is a very good cause as well because it supports artists. So speaking of podcasts, we are on our episode 86, so we're getting closer and closer to 100, which is pretty cool. I didn't think we'd ever really get this far. I figured that we would have died out by now, but no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so podcasts. God, man, I just can't think of anything. My brain is not fucking working.
All right,
so this particular episode,
it's probably because you're tired.
I'm pretty tired.
You could probably use some nice fresh Colombian coffee from Wawa. So you guys know exactly what this is about. This is about me for the past 3 months trying to get Wawa to recognize our podcast or recognize me, basically shouting them out every single episode so that they would think about moving out here. So once again, the hashtag is West Coast Wawa, and please retweet it, redo everything to try and get them to notice. But
this episode is about script doctoring. So like, what if you wrote a script for a commercial for Wawa in California? What would that look like?
I have no clue. If they listen to this podcast enough times, they'd be like, we're not going to hire those guys to do it, but because we don't write anything down.
So like, I just got out of the bar. I'm hungover. I'm really trashed.
That would be a good reason to go to Wawa.
I need to walk
I
over.
don't think that's what they want to advertise.
That would be
like drunk people walking into Wawa.
Wawa in Humboldt County. It's like, I just smoked a lot. We need to go to Wawa.
That would be so awesome.
Wouldn't that be amazing ad campaign?
Oh my God, watching a stone guy try to like do the touch screen and order a sandwich. You're like, you come up with like weird combinations. Like, I wonder if I can put this mushroom soup inside this like Italian hoagie.
Little fusion going on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, hashtag West Coast Wawa.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We are always so unprepared for stuff, and that's the way we like it. So, you guys know out there how much we despise Batman v Superman and Man of Steel and everything except for Wonder Woman, basically.
Yeah, which was wonderful.
So, this episode is basically us spitballing to see if we can come up with a better movie in the 40 minutes to an hour that we just spitball it with no editing whatsoever, and see if we can come up with a better plot than that was actually shown on screen and in the special editions with more Jenna Malone. This will be a Jenna Malone free episode.
Yeah, exactly. No bullets. No, that we gotta, I mean, if anyone's gonna, research a bullet, it'd be Batman anyway.
Yeah,
not Lois
Dark
Lane.
Knight.
Yeah, exactly. It's already been done.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot better too. All right, so let's start with that. Are we going to? Again, folks, this is all spitball.
We're going to try.
But are we going to start? Are we going to allow Snyder's Man of Steel to exist? And we have to go from there.
You know what? It's fine.
Let's go from there. Let's prove that we're better.
Okay. So this is this movie is called Batman versus Superman. So if anything, I don't think I would have Wonder Woman in it.
No.
And I don't think I would have Doomsday in it.
Oh, definitely not.
Okay, so we'll start with that.
Yeah, okay, so here's my opening instead of Bruce Wayne driving through the city.
You didn't like that beginning?
I did, but as far I did, but what it didn't do was like flesh out that story. It didn't flesh out. It was just like, this guy, he's getting his ass kicked all over the city and destroying the city and doesn't know what he's doing. That's not a reason to. Like, it's his first day on the job, basically. He's basically just put on the suit. That's the first time you've seen him.
Right.
And,
but why is Bat... I'm trying to remember. Why was Bat angry? Because his friend didn't leave the building and he died? I mean, how fucking stupid is that?
He didn't like Batman or wanted to kill Batman because there was a 1% chance that Superman might go rogue. And he basically wanted to corporal
punishment?
Corporal punishment, minority report him.
Yeah.
Basically is what he wanted to do. He wanted to preemptively kill Superman before he destroyed the Earth.
Gotcha. All right. That's
okay. Yeah. So that's not my beginning.
That sounds even worse now.
I'm thinking the movie that we have is the main three characters are going to be obviously Batman, Superman, and Lex Luthor.
Okay.
But Lex Luthor will play more of a Baron role. Zemo role in this, and I don't care the similarities. You can have two movies that have an underlying thing because that's what we were given, so that's what we're going to go with. We're basically script doctoring it, but we're trying to keep certain elements into it. I probably would have even kept Lex Luthor out completely of this movie.
I would have too, but he's there.
But again, this is not rewriting it. This is just script doctoring it. So we'll leave Lex Luthor in there, but we would definitely recast that fucking role.
Idris Elba?
Jesse Eisenberg.
He can play anything.
Yeah.
He was adopted.
I would rather actually just get Michael Scott. Not Steve Carell. I would rather get Michael Scott. To play Lex Luthor than fucking Jesse Eisenberg. All right, so my movie is going to open like 5 years. Like not. We could do even the time frame. We'll keep the time frame like a year later.
Okay,
we'll keep the same.
It's like
time
18
frame.
months or something. Like
Batman has not disappeared, right?
Yeah.
People have heard of him, unlike in that version. Our version, Batman will have been known of who he is, and because Clark recently just moved to Metropolis, he's only just finding out about the Bat Vigilante. And that has been guarding.
But he knows who Bruce Wayne is.
Yes. Yeah. He knows who the most famous, richest, powerful person on the planet is.
Yeah.
With money. Yeah. He knows. So he will know Bruce, and so that makes sense. That even then, right there, that just makes more sense.
Yeah.
So because Batman doesn't disappear and all of a sudden just start fucking inadvertently killing people because
Superman
Superman killed people.
Yeah, he's angry.
He's gonna start killing people because Superman killed people. Who can kill the most?
I'm angry that my building got trashed, so now I'm gonna brand people.
Well, in this explanation version, it's because Robin died. But we're gonna take that. We'll actually leave that in, but do it better.
Right.
So instead of Batman branding people so that later on they can be murdered in fucking jail, he's not going to brand at all because Batman is not the goddamn Crow. He doesn't need to leave his signature all over the shit, right? So right there, already better. Oh, and also Batman actually hides in the shadows, not right above the fucking lamp.
That was weird, right?
Yeah,
the cop just looks up and he's all shh.
He did the same equivalent as that guy in Grandma's Boy when he hides behind the jacket. So already a better movie right there.
He's standing by the curtains. You see his feet. You're just like,
he's over by Batman's over by the light switch, and he just creeps over, and then he just turns the light off.
It's so he's like 5 feet off the ground. He's not even like 10, 20 feet in the air.
It's not even like the if it was the apartment in like Big, that would make sense because that was like what 20 feet high.
Yeah, he'd look dark.
Yeah, he's basically he's on the second floor. First of all,
right,
of like a rural 2-story house. How high do you think this fucking ceiling actually is? And not only that, he doesn't even hide that high, like in the top corner in the shadows. No. It's right above the fucking lamp, like literally within like not like eye level, but like eyebrow, eyebrow level.
Yeah, it's for his feet.
Basically, if I walked into that room, like just walking to that room because of the angle.
Hi,
like,
Batman.
I'm just not going to go like this, and then, or I'm doing it. I'm not going to look like straight down and then look up. But that's when I wouldn't see him. But if you walked into a room and you saw somebody like standing up, like in a bunk bed height, right?
He's like, "Hi, Batman."
A 6'3" fucking Batman figure standing 5.5 feet off the ground. I'm pretty sure you would fucking notice that.
That scene was so awkward. He looked like an idiot.
So our Batman will actually hide in the shadows and do a good job of it too. So that's the opening is Batman has always been around. He never took a break. Bruce Wayne is known to Clark Kent, but he's just gotten to Metropolis, so he just realizes he's starting to hear things about it. And then because we have to acknowledge the Man of Steel, we have Clark, Superman. Anytime he fights crime, he's overly cautious.
Right.
You don't have to spit it out to me. You can just show it to me on screen. He's overly cautious when he tries to stop somebody, right? So he's making sure that if he even screws something up, he'll try to fix it. Like in one scene, maybe he'll knock over a telephone pole. He'll actually stay to help fix it.
Right.
Right.
I think go back to the Batman really quick. I didn't like the fact that in the movie Batman vs Superman, the cops just come across a guy sitting there with the brand, and so like Batman, you don't see him thwart any kind of crime.
Right. So
like in the Nolan versions, he just pops out of nowhere and he just beats the shit out of him.
What it would be, okay, so that's a little bit of the backstory of how we would show it.
So we should have him fighting in the shadows. Like we don't quite see him fighting
let's do
style
Superman
yet.
first, because apparently this was supposed to be a Superman 2 movie, right?
Yeah, true.
Because that's what Zack Snyder said. So we'll just go with that as well. So we're going to open with Superman saving somebody, not fucking flying through and killing somebody because they're holding a gun to Lois's head.
Right.
Yeah, he learned.
Let's get rid of that whole sequence. Actually,
that's not going to happen. We're not going to fucking end
go
up
to
that
Egypt,
way.
go to the Middle East or something.
Yeah. So Superman again saves somebody, but he's overly cautious and he's overly nice because he knows he fucked up major. Right. Then the very next scene is at night, because now this is during the day. It's during the day. It's bright. It's colorful. It's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Now you cut to night, and that's Batman. And you see Batman.
So you see the contrast between the two.
Right.
I like this idea.
So
I think I want to go a step further. I think with Superman, you have him doing multiple things during the day, kind of like The Incredibles. So you have so you have him like swooping in and stopping a bank robber, and then he's like, "Hey, someone's screaming like, I need help."
Give me the iconic Superman getting a cat out of the tree.
Oh shit!
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do
Even
it.
though we've
Because
seen
you
it
just
before,
gave us
just do
fucking
it.
emo Superman.
Yeah.
In our script, we're gonna play up the Boy Scout thing.
Yeah. Have him stop a car, have him save a kid, have him do something.
Yeah, all
so
those
multiple things.
Yeah, just swimming.
And then and then it gets nighttime, and that's where I fucking love that contrast.
Okay, so with Batman, you now not even just color wise, right? Now Batman, you see him fighting crime at night, and he's beating the shit out of people. Bad. He doesn't brand anybody. He just beats the shit out of people. And then there's going to be one scene where there's a robber or somebody who hasn't faced Batman in a while. Just through dialogue, you're going to find that out. And the guy says to Batman, alluding to the Dark Knight, like a call out to the Dark Knight about how far he knows Batman will go. And this Batman kind of smirks a little bit at him and basically says that's not me anymore. And then he fucks him up really bad.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the fear of God is in that guy's eyes. And now with that one scene, that Batman has changed. Right.
But we don't know why yet.
Right. So right there we just fixed a shit ton of problems. How long was our
4 minutes in.
4 minutes into the movie and it's already better.
Right. And then the next day you kind of see Superman. I loved his interactions with Perry White, which was pretty cool. So he starts talking about the bat because there's increasingly more.
Wait. You know what? This is going to happen, folks.
Okay.
I just got an idea. So remember when you said you don't know the Batman thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see Batman come back from a night of fighting crime, right? He goes in through the Batcave, and now you see the Joker thing.
Right, the outfit with the...
Now you see it.
Right.
Because you just got... Again, you don't have to spit... You don't have to, draw this shit in crayon for people. They'll figure it out. So I'm thinking...
They should show bits and pieces in his psyche, maybe.
Just keep that or you don't even have to do that. You could just have the Joker's laughter in the background.
Oh yeah.
So again, he just beat the shit out of that guy who hasn't faced in a really long time.
Right.
Calls Batman basically a pussy because he knows he'll never kill him, and then Batman just beats him to like with an intro. But he's alive, right? That's the big difference. So and then now he pulls back in with the Batmobile. He's in the Batcave. It's fucking almost dawn. And he still has his Batman outfit on. He's all sweaty and shit. And then you see the Robin outfit. Mm-hmm. And because that scene just happened 2 minutes ago with that other guy, that this guy all of a sudden realizes that this is a different Batman. You show the suit.
Right.
And now you understand
why he's doing what he's doing.
Right. And because the fucking color, like, you give it a little bit of color and you actually make the suit a lot brighter. Because instead of keeping it up like some like disgusting mausoleum to somebody who died in that costume.
Right.
It's just like the Robin mask, and like one of his batarangs.
Batarangs, yeah.
But his Robin mask is ripped and you see blood on it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
And then that's it. Like that. Then it cuts to like Clark getting up for work.
Right.
Right. So now you've just that whole first 10 minutes of the movie. You've seen the yin and the yang between Superman and Batman. You understand now that it's an older, more violent Batman, and then right immediately you find out why.
Yeah, that takes care of a lot of the problems in a matter of like minutes.
Yeah, because if you don't read the internet, you had no idea like that. Like
I hated that so much. Like people were going on there like I was going on there going like, why is Batman killing? And then someone's like, well, it's because of the Joker killed Robin, and I was like, well, how do you know that? How did you come up with that? Right. Well, Zack Snyder alluded to it on this article, and I'm like, no, that's not in the movie.
Yeah.
So I don't give a shit.
Because at the point where they show it,
it makes no impact whatsoever.
In the middle of the movie, before he goes out and does something else.
Yeah, it's like, how do you supposed to, I mean, unless you're an Uber fan, how are you supposed to figure that shit out? You know?
Well, yeah, your director's not supposed to tell you why. It's supposed to be shown on screen.
Right.
But because like he places that scene so far away from anything, it makes no sense.
It makes no impact whatsoever.
Because again, all the bits and pieces of information about Batman being a vigilante and people are dying because they're scattered throughout the movie.
Right.
Right. And then you place that stupid Robin scene in there in the middle of all that, and you're trying to figure out like, well, was he always like this? Or,
yeah, what's going on?
Again, this is your version of Batman, right?
Right.
We don't take it from the Dark Knight Rises one where he like went away to France with Catwoman. You know, like so in this version, like I've seen this enough times I pay attention to movies. In this version, it just seems like he's just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, like, or he disappeared for a really long time because nobody in Metropolis talks about the Batman.
Yeah, like he's a myth or something.
Yeah, like
in this movie.
And then he just came out of nowhere.
And he's like in his 40s. He's almost 50.
Yeah, so
how can
obviously with the dead Robin, he's been doing it a long time.
Yeah,
but everybody talks about him like when Clark is talking to Perry about why isn't anybody doing the Bat Vigilante thing, and all Perry had to do was say, Clark, that's old news. Everybody's been the Batman has been around forever, and nobody's been able to stop him.
Yeah,
that would have told you everything right there about how the time frame for the Batman, right? So anyway, in our version, I don't want to keep going back to the shit part of the movies. I want to be able to do our movie and say, okay, so we've already done like 15, 20 minutes of the movie, just telling and
You're establishing the characters and establishing where they are in their lives.
And their psyche, too.
And their psyche.
Right, because now Superman's hella nervous about fucking destroying shit, and you understand that Batman's way more pissed off than he ever has been.
Right, and then that's where you get into where Clark is like, hey...
here's even better. I'll do you even one better.
Okay.
I'll do you even one better, because in this version, the Joker hasn't come about yet, right? Because Suicide Squad hasn't even come out yet, right?
Right.
In this version, the even more reason why, we'll even insert that Clark and Perry scene. We'll have something either Perry or Clark during his research has found out that the Bat is trying to find the Joker.
Okay, because then that brings the whole ties the whole thing in.
It ties the whole thing back right to like that gives a reason why that the Batman is being this violent, because he wants to find the guy who killed Robin.
Oh shit!
Right. So now this puts Clark in a dilemma, right? Because it's justified what the Batman's doing, but he's still breaking the law, and Superman's a Boy Scout now.
So the end credit thing, you can always have the Joker.
No, you're jumping way too far.
I know,
ahead.
but you can have the Joker's
it sets
face.
up the Batman.
You can see the Joker come in and say, "I heard someone's looking for me."
Like in our version, we'd be like, "You're not doing a Suicide Squad. This leads into the Batman."
Right.
Okay,
So anyway, so now you have Clark talking to Perry about, hey, who's going to stop this guy?
You also established the reason why Clark wants to stop the Batman now.
Right.
Because
he's increasingly becoming more violent.
Exactly. And you're like, if I don't stop him before he finds the Joker, he's going to fucking kill
somebody.
And, and he's going to regret it because he knows even though the Batman's a vigilante, he knows he's like has good intentions.
Right.
Because who is Clark to talk? Who is Superman to talk? Because a year ago he just destroyed all of Metropolis. So now, no, but I mean, like, I'm being serious about this now because it makes sense. It just makes sense, Zach. So, okay, so now we have the Superman who understands the Batman but needs to stop him so he doesn't make a huge mistake.
Right.
By crossing that threshold and killing, because again, in this conversations and stuff, Perry can say, yeah, he's a vigilante, yeah, he does things the hard way, and he goes against the law, but he's never killed anybody.
Right.
Boom. Fixes everything about the Batman now. Because in that other version again, Batman's branding people knowing full well they're going to get fucking killed in jail, and he still keeps doing it.
Right, over and over again.
Right, so Batman clearly wants to kill.
We also forgot to mention that we would not call this movie, we would not have that tagline or the subtitle of Dawn of Justice. We wouldn't have that at all. It would just be Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, not trying to set up an entire universe.
Right, make a standalone movie with, some mentions of possibilities or building a universe.
So at some point in time, we're going to have to introduce Lex Luthor to this.
Well, now's the time.
Non-Jesse Berg Lex Luthor, right? Because again, so we'll take that scene with Perry talking to Clark, and Perry's like, "You're not doing this goddamn assignment. You need to go do the Luthor benefit." And instead of that crazy shit that Luthor's doing there, it's an actual benefit for Children's Hospital.
Well, this is where you would have. I mean, they really should have had like Bryan Cranston maybe as Lionel Luthor, and then had his son to be played by somebody else.
I don't like that version just because that puts Lex Luthor way younger than this version of Superman. Well, I still want to keep Cavill, so it's not going to be somebody young like Eisenberg, and definitely not that type of a style. But let's just say Bryan Cranston is Lex Luthor.
Okay,
because to me, Luthor was always older than
Clark.
Yeah.
He'd be fairly old, like 25 years older almost, 20 years
Yeah, but
older.
Cranston looks pretty young too. So let's just say Cranston's in our version. We're casting this now.
Okay.
So he goes to I think it's Lex Luthor. Eventually he's going to turn bad, but you don't know this Lex Luthor, you have no idea.
I want to see a Lex Luthor that's smart. I don't want an over the top goofy like Gene Hackman was a little
more,
or Kevin Spacey.
More like the cartoon, the animated series, where that's my favorite version, is the businessman who underneath it, like the people think he's very, well, I don't want to say Trump-like, but
he's like a philanthropist.
Yeah, but he's like a good one.
Yeah.
Like this Lex Luthor. Again, this is why I want to say let's do it in Trojan's benefit, because this version, nobody knows that he's bad.
Right.
Nobody has any clue.
But he's been doing a lot of hinky shit.
Well, you don't know. No. I don't even want to hint at that. I don't even show it, because all Clark is going is he actually admires Lex Luthor, this one, because he gives so much to charity, and this one is a brand new children's hospital, state of the art children's hospital. And in this version, I don't want anybody to hint that Lex Luthor is the bad guy. As simple as I want it, I almost want it to be like that scene in the ending scene in episode 1 when Palpatine's like, "Oh, we'll keep an eye on your career, Skywalker." Right. That simple, innocent. Now, I remember my girlfriend at the time who watched episode 1 had no idea who the fuck that was, and that's the kind of subtlety I want. Right. I want people who don't know who Lex Luthor are and be like, "Oh, this guy's pretty good," and Clark looks up to him. I'm almost pulling a little bit from Smallville because that's a good dynamic as well. So he's there covering the benefit. Mm-hmm. He's there covering the benefit, and the whole reason why we're there is to introduce Lex Luthor to the world, to this universe anyway. Right. So we got to have Marcy there. Right? Is her name Marcy? Is it Marcy or Darcy?
What do you mean?
The side bodyguard woman that he has, Lex Luthor.
Oh, I can't remember her name. I know who you're talking about now.
But I think she was Asian in the their version, so we'll keep it as a woman because that's how she was introduced in the cartoon.
Yeah, but she was not a badass in Batman.
No, she was
useless.
basically just
secretary.
Yeah. So in our version, I want to take that role. I want to take that version of it where she's a chauffeur, but she's also a bodyguard.
So it's like Kato.
Yes,
almost.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Where do we go from the benefit? So there's a lot of people there donating. Lex gives a speech.
Maybe some armed guards or some people come in there to try to steal from the rich, steal money from him, and then Clark runs out and comes back.
I got it. There's one person that Lex fired incorrectly or something. Maybe I lied. Here's one hint, but people rumbling don't believe that Lex would ever do anything like that because he's so good. So somebody goes there, tries to attack Luther. Marcy, I'm going to just say her name is Marcy, stops him, and just based on reflex, she's about to reach for a gun, and Lex calmly just like puts her hand down. Because somebody who's that calm during that nervous of a situation is in full control and basically a sociopath.
Right. Kind of like the Kingpin from Daredevil almost.
Yeah, very, very calm. Like she's about to pull a weapon out and to like fucking finish this guy off, and he just calmly puts the hand down, and you know something's not right.
Oh, and you see Clark there, and he's just like ready to go into action, but he doesn't because they take care of the situation.
And then like Lex makes like a very charming like no big deal type thing to the crowd, and everybody just claps and loves Lex Luthor because now like again Lex is bad, but in this early introduction about him, he's basically like Bill Gates.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a good comparison.
Like he's Bill Gates, and he just gives and gives and gives, and everybody loves him. And again, the fact that Clark admires him is even better when he finds out what he is.
Right.
Okay, so from there, what are we missing the beats wise if we're script doctoring it?
Well, you got to have some sort of scene in there where something about what did they do in the actual movie? They went and found kryptonite, right? From one of those ships that was downed.
Kryptonite, but I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either. But you got to have kryptonite in the movie at some point, though, because Batman has to be able to defeat him somehow, and that's the only way to do it.
At the Children's Hospital, let's say it's in Gotham because Gotham needs it more.
Okay.
Than Metropolis, because Metropolis already has a hospital there from Lex, because that's where Lex resides. Mm-hmm. Let's say he builds a children's hospital,
and that's how you bring Bruce Wayne in. Because maybe it's a joint venture, or maybe it's they're both billionaires.
Yeah. So now you're going to introduce Bruce Wayne, because at this point you've never seen Bruce Wayne other than you saw it in the Batcave.
Right.
So you have a better conversation than what those two have. Lex and Bruce,
because they look like they kind of knew each other even in Snyder's version.
But in this version, I don't want Bruce Wayne to be trying to find something on Lex.
No.
I want them to be very like cordial and very respectful to each other, and they acknowledge Clark is there or whatever, trying to get like a story with Lex, and Bruce tells like a personal story about Lex, like don't forget about that one time like we were stuck in Cabo or some shit like that. Something where they grew up like in the rich areas,
right?
They were out on vacation.
They ran in the same circles.
Right, exactly. So
Clark is just a boy from Kansas.
Right, exactly. So and then as Bruce turns around from being like very cordial and friendly and like almost family-like to Lex, his smile just deadpan.
Yeah,
he's fucking deadpan because he knows something's wrong, but the audience doesn't know.
Right.
You think it's because, he knows about, or that he's just being, the playboy Bruce Wayne type thing. Mm-hmm. I had a thought about. So from there, we don't mention the kryptonite. Bruce is just there because he's opening a hospital in his city with a joint venture. I like that idea, because then we can pull in the thing where he wanted to take a look at Lex's books or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like a callback to the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So now what we got to do is establish the first time that Batman faces Superman, because in our version we're definitely going to end the movie with them fighting each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you could do, I kind of liked in Batman v Superman where Alfred was talking to Bruce and Superman overheard it, right? That's how I think isn't that how he figured out that was Batman?
Yeah, that's how he figured out first.
So he could over here, something, same thing. Like, hey, Alfred, I need to.
I don't want to do because I think it's more cool if they face each other for the first time and Clark X-rays him and says, Bruce?
Yeah, that would be cool too. Because I want Batman to like maybe break into the hospital, to break into Lex's room, to like look over the books or look at something or try to find something on him, and then Superman kind of
we have
comes
a perfect
along.
opportunity.
Okay.
Because we established that the hospital's in Gotham City, right?
Right.
And in our version, Gotham City isn't a fucking stone throws away like New Jersey and New York. They're actually like far away.
Yeah.
So Clark is staying overnight in Gotham. Right?
Right, because
so
he's covering the opening of the hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
So he patrols. He's like, it'd be nice to fly over a different city for a change. So he flies over the city and he catches Batman. And because we don't do the whole like Bruce trying to find some shit in the hospital and you hear Alfred, Bruce is out or Batman's out and he's beating the crap out of somebody trying to like. He does. I hear Christian Bale's voice, but I don't want to. It's Affleck's voice. It's like, where is he?
Yeah, right? I like the voice modulator.
Because he's trying to find the Joker. So Batman, I'm sorry, Superman flies down.
Over here is the modulator. He's like,
yeah. But then he comes down and he's like, that's enough. And he pushes the guy, Batman off the guy. Mm-hmm. And he tells the actual bad guy, he's like, get out of here for now. I'll get you later.
That would be funny.
Right. So you can
leave.
You can have a head start. It doesn't matter. I'll find you later.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's an awesome line because he's got X-ray vision.
Right.
Gotham City doesn't deal with Superman. So his full attention's on Batman, right? And he looks up and then he X-rays Batman, his cowl, and he looks at him and he says, "Bruce," like shocked. Mm-hmm. And Batman like kind of opens his mouth a little bit and he's like, and he answers back, "Yes, Clark." Like that, like
or farm boy or some shit.
Oh yeah, it calls him Kansas or some shit.
Yeah,
but I like that version because again, he's the world's greatest detective, and Clark or I'm sorry, Superman thinks he's one up Batman,
right?
And then
so Superman says something like, "Wait, how did you know?" And he's just like, "What? Just because you wear glasses, that's gonna change the way you look."
Well, I don't want Batman joking around.
No.
But like I think it's
that would be really cool
because when he answers with his first name back, it one ups like because again, Superman is Superman in a hand-to-hand combat fight. Batman would never win. Never fucking win. And this just establishes that Batman is one step ahead. Subconsciously, Batman is one step ahead of Superman.
Yeah.
Because Superman didn't find out who Batman was.
I think Batman's smarter than Superman, honestly.
He is. But again, you're establishing your Batman.
Yeah.
Show me that he's the world's greatest detective. Show me that no matter what, he's always going to be a step ahead of you. Right. Because Superman didn't find out that he's Bruce until he was standing right in front of him to X-ray him. But but Batman has known he's been Clark this whole fucking time.
Right.
That's gonna give that. I guarantee you to hear gasps in the in the
when he just fires back.
Yeah, when he's like, yeah, Clark.
Kansas.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. I'm telling you, that would have been so much better than the first time we fucking saw them.
Yeah.
But Superman basically fucking up his ride and letting a whole bunch of people get away.
Okay, so here's the elephant in the room. Here's the how do we? Because the whole conflict thing of Batman upset with Superman because Superman tore up his building, and then in Metropolis, and then Lex forces basically Superman to kill Batman so that he'd save his mom. Okay, that was the whole basis of that fight, which is ridiculous.
No mom.
No. So how do we fix that? Because that's the biggie. Right, so if Batman's running around looking for the Joker, he's not really mad at Superman. He's not,
but he's ready because you fix so many problems right there when he answers back.
Like I feel like the Joker almost needs to make an appearance, like something so that Superman says no, you can't. Like takes Joker out of the equation, and that's what would piss Batman off because he's like he's mine, or something like that. Or you have, you got to have Lex Luthor as the Baron von Zemo character, from Civil War. You have to have him pulling some sort of strings. Okay, maybe he's working with the Joker. Maybe he's working with other villains. If he works with the
Joker, that's too much of a call to World's Finest.
World's Finest. Okay, well,
the World's Finest episodes in Superman animated series was the same.
Okay.
was the same thing. Lex Luthor was secretly working with the Joker to kill Superman, and that's why Batman was in town. That's basically their entire thing. But in their, it's like, again, we're script doctoring it. So in that world's finest, they never fought.
No.
In our version,
you can change that a little bit, but
in our version, they're supposed to fight. So there needs to be a catalyst to bring. Maybe it's not to bring Batman to fight Superman, but Superman to fight Batman. In the sense, because like in the Batman v Superman that we saw, it's Batman basically trying to fucking murder Superman.
Yeah.
Basically enticing him to come.
well, yeah, he's like like poking him with a stick.
Yeah, so yeah, he fucking cuts his like cheek, like almost like he's torturing him. Like
Yeah, that was weird.
so, actually, I can fix that version too.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
part. But
we need to find a catalyst to make these two fight.
okay, so what do you think about that? That it's Superman that has to fight Batman, or so I
even
want
that
to do like
changes
three
his-
meetings. I
I
want to
mean-
do 3 meetings.
Okay.
So we ended on Batman answering back, knowing full well who Clark was this whole time, or Superman was this whole time. And then like a stunned Clark just stands, stunned Superman just stands there, and Batman says, I don't know what line he says, like a one-liner, drops the dust on the ground. That's lead based.
Okay.
And you know that because Superman is trying to find him through his X-ray vision and can't see.
Oh, so that's how he like disappears.
That's how he tells the audience that he's lead. That gas is lead, aerosol lead, or something like that.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
So because again, if you fucking drop the smoke and you do it in front of Superman, he can
can
fucking
see-
find you.
he can see
But
right
we're
through
talking about Batman, right?
Right.
So when he tries to X-ray, everything around it you can see through except for the smoke.
Right.
There.
That's
So
how he. That's how he escapes.
That's how you don't get on fucking honest trailers. You think
He'd still be able to hear him though, right?
He would, but this is Batman. You know,
He's quiet
like
as shit.
like basically a ninja, right? Exactly.
yeah.
So, okay, so I like that lead thing.
You
If
just came
somebody
up with that shit. I don't.
Yeah,
How'd
right
you
on-
do that? Trademarked you on this.
So anyway, so like that, he gets away, right?
Okay.
Now I need there to be a second time. We need a second time because at the second point in time, now there needs to be
Okay.
a fear of
Superman needs to fuck Batman up somehow, or the Batmobile something the second time around. Then the third time around, Batman defeats Superman. So how do you establish that? Like there has to be a
What if Lex? You don't know it's Lex, but what if there's a scenario set up for Superman to fail? Like the court scene,
Kabashi,
the court scene.
the Kibayashi Maru. Is that what you're?
No. Well, basically,
Okay.
But the court scene. Let's keep the court scene.
Oh, which is honestly the best scene in the entire movie.
So
Yeah.
remember, our Superman is overly cautious now. He doesn't kill. He tries and fix shit like while if he breaks it or whatever, right? So psychologically, subconsciously, you already know that this Superman is scared to make another mistake, any tiny mistake.
Now is he still going to the courtroom
Yes.
for the same issue?
Yeah, same issue.
Okay.
Same issue because that makes sense.
Okay.
That part makes sense, but makes more sense in our version.
But
So he goes there. There's no guy in a wheelchair or whatever.
there's no Holly Hunter bullshit.
Right. Because again, you just showed earlier that Clark easily uses his X-ray vision for nothing, right? Mm-hmm. But as he's walking in or as he's like flying towards her, you see a nervousness on Cavill's face. Henry Cavill, Superman, on his face when he lands, right? He's nervous to go in there. He takes a deep breath and he walks in. Okay, so now you know that Superman is really fucking nervous. So that explains why when the fucking shit blows up, he never X-rayed. He never X-rayed because he was so fucking nervous about it. Right?
Okay.
Makes sense now?
Yeah, no, that works.
So he goes, and the way that it's set up, I don't think it's the same way as it was set up in that version, but it needs to be set up in a way where Batman sees it on TV.
Okay. Or Bruce Wayne watches it on TV.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne watches it on TV. He just watches it, but not like it is in that version where he's getting like these weird things that you think is the Joker, but it's really fucking Lex Luthor writes in the same handwriting as the Joker somehow.
Yeah.
So he's just watching it on TV, and he doesn't want to fucking kill Clark or right away. Now he's just paying attention, and he's watching it at home, right? And then as he's watching this final thing happen and the news like turns away, he like leans back in his chair and he's looking at something off camera, but you can't see because he like swiveled in his chair. And then the scene will end with it panning behind his head, and you see parts of the Batman armor, the Superman Buster costume.
Oh yeah.
You see parts of that, and it just cuts. He's not pissed, but he knows like he might use. It's a look like I might have to use this sooner than later.
That, yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out a way to where Superman made a mistake, like, and I don't know, but that again. When they show that, it doesn't. There's no excuse for Superman to be or Batman to be like, well, because somebody bombed that building, I need to kill Superman.
Right.
Like, you know,
it does that. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So our Batman doesn't want to kill Superman at that point.
No.
What I think should happen is that same night Superman's patrolling because he needs to get some air. You know, he's patrolling around. He's still in Gotham, and he faces Batman. Mm-hmm. And Batman says something to him like about all the like fucking makes a dig at him for killing all those people this morning. Like something.
What if Bruce Wayne's dating a lawyer that's working in the courtroom? You know, and then so when it blows up,
no, I don't think like it, I don't want to make it personal.
Yeah, it's got, but it almost has to be for Batman to want to go after Superman.
No, but in our version, that's not the case. It's Superman going after Batman.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's leaked to Superman or leaked to Clark, you know, as is doing.
I want to see Clark reporting.
And Clark trying to research, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody tells him that, like, rumor has it the Batman set up that bomb thinking that that the Joker was going to show up.
Okay.
Like, because he knew that there would be a lot of cameras, and the Joker wanted as many cameras in front of him. And they think the Batman set up the bombs, and something went wrong and it killed everybody.
Oh,
right. So
okay,
now
that might work.
So again, we need something underneath,
right?
But we don't say anything, but because you're thinking the whole time that like that it's just like Clark just doing his job, and he's just talking to a former snitch of his that tells him that like everybody's talking about it, that the Batman killed all those people by accident.
Yeah,
like, he thought the Joker was going to be there. Again, because of all the attention that court case with Superman there would have gotten, he wanted to show up and make a statement.
Make a statement, yeah.
Right, and Batman and like set up a bomb to go off.
So no, that establishes like Superman wanting to now.
Stop
okay,
Batman.
I need to stop Batman now.
Right. So because our fight will start subtly, it will be like, you really have to stop this, Bruce. Like I can't let you go on any further because you killed all those. Like he doesn't say you killed all those people, but like you.
What happened this morning? Yeah, it can't happen again, or
you know,
or more innocent lives can't be taken. Or
yeah, something like that. Something that doesn't reveal like what he's actually talking about. So now the fight starts off as like almost like a preemptive like drunk brawl. You know what I mean? Like you say some shit to each other, you kind of push a little bit, you kind of walk away, come back, and now it escalates big time. So so it starts off with like. Superman going to Batman. It would even be cool if you, instead of doing it anywhere else, it was in the Batcave.
Oh, like Superman just shows up to the Batcave.
Yeah,
and maybe he's got it like rigged.
Maybe
with because that's the thing. Because
we're talking about the end of the movie now, right?
Yeah, well, which is fine, but because last time in the other movie, he had all these weird contraptions in the middle of the fucking city. Which was so weird, you know. He had like machine guns and those sonic wave things and all that weird stuff. I think it'd make a lot more sense if Superman just shows up to the Batcave and the Batcave has all these contraptions because they're trying to deter people from breaking in.
Because he's been preparing for the fact that Superman can X-ray, he can find Batman's identity.
But the fact that, like, I don't know if we need to establish that, you know, how he got kryptonite or what. I mean, it could be lined in the inside of his armor.
We don't have to. I mean,
yeah,
we don't have to do it because he's
a billionaire, so he had to get it somehow.
Here's the thing: earlier on in the movie, we had already shown Batman is one up on Superman. He's always one step ahead, and he's always prepared. And then again, we reiterate that point when you see the bat armor suit. right? Knowing that he's prepared
Right.
for something that he might have to use, right? So we've already established in two different scenes subconsciously to the viewer that Bruce Wayne or Batman is always prepared.
Because I like that part kind of in Snyder's version where Superman actually takes a swing at Batman and Batman blocks it and nothing happens.
Yeah.
That was like, oh shit. So that was how you would know, like maybe he had the kryptonite lined in the armor or something like that. But he'd have to but see, Superman wouldn't just take a swing.
Well, you
it'd
said
have
the
to be
contraptions,
something.
right? You said the contraptions,
Yeah.
right? So he's trying to break into the Batcave, and the Batcave defenses come up, and a gas fires, and that gas is laced with kryptonite.
Oh, that would work too. Yeah.
And he doesn't get into the Batsuit until the gas version of the kryptonite, because the Batcave's huge.
Right.
The until the gas starts wearing off, and now Batman is equal strength to Superman, or Superman is no longer equal strength to Batman. He's stronger now.
Right.
That's when he gets into Superman throws him through the wall or something, throws him to like one of the.
There's no sunlight that goes in there too, so you can just beat the shit out of him in there.
So he just throws him into like he thinks is a room, like through a door, like a metal door, or not a metal door because that would kill him, but like some like maybe in a glass door. Keep the same type of bat cave that they had.
Mm-hmm.
Throws him through a door, and then all of a sudden you hear a power up, not the fucking Iron Man power up, but yeah, exactly. You don't want the same thing, but like you call,
you get to see the bat armor.
Yeah, but again, it was already teased and all that shit,
Right.
And now Batman comes up, and all of a sudden, like when you hear that noise, you see it like now the room has no light because he got thrown in there, and now you see a slight glimmer of green. Because it's in the Superman Buster suit.
Right.
So either it's laced with it, or like he's covered in like the paint or whatever. But I think that would be kind of cool way to introduce the Batsuit.
That'd be really cool. Okay, so they fight. Now we have to find a reason for them to stop fighting, and then we also have to find a reason for them to finally realize that Lex Luthor is the one that's been pulling the strings all along.
Well, we could go the route of Superman confronting, because I hate the fact that like they fight for no reason in the Snyder version with like barely any words said. Like normal people do.
Yeah, because he would have said, "Hey, he's got my mom."
Yeah,
that's all he had to say.
Yeah, exactly. So in this version,
or if I wanted you dead,
because
be done already.
We said he would say we said that Superman says something, but it doesn't specifically allude. It's assuming that Batman did do it. So when he says it generically to Batman, like how could you do such and such? When he says that generic term to Batman, Batman doesn't think anything of it, and Superman doesn't think anything of it because he just assumes that Batman actually did it.
Right.
So he wouldn't say anything back to him.
Right.
Right. And then like again, the Superman Buster suit comes out, and they're fighting. Now they're like just brawling, and they're all pissed. And he's got like Batman dead to rights, and he's like, "How could you kill all those people?" And Batman looks at him like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And then that's when, what would happen there?
So maybe Superman,
takes a step back and realizes that he almost killed again.
Right. See, somehow or another, it has to click in his brain that Lex Luthor is the perpetrator, and then how does you obviously you can't. He could beat up Lex in like 2 seconds, so like there has to be something. That's the thing. It's almost feel like we're writing ourselves in a corner in like other movies where like, oh, now Lex has an armored suit, which actually he does in the comic books.
But like, no, I don't want like. I don't want
you don't want like another Iron Man situation.
Yeah, where he's fighting like a fucking bald guy in a goddamn giant metal suit. What do you think about allowing Lex to know that Batman is Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, that would be fine. I don't think Lex should know.
If that's the case, we can have a little typical slight monologue where Batman when he says like Bruce goes back to him like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What people? I didn't kill anybody." And then the Bat computer flicks on. It's like Lex Luthor.
Well, what if Lex Luthor has Lois Lane and he's got Alfred?
Oh, so we're going okay. Okay,
So now Batman and Superman have to work together to save them somehow, and that's where we get some cool fight sequences against other people.
well, I was thinking like well, you have to explain how they get out of there because it would make no sense for Lex to show up on the screen and have no way of ending both their lives.
Right.
So, kryptonite missile homing in on the Batcave
Oh, that might be interesting.
because it would kill Batman because it's a missile.
Right, and the kryptonite would kill,
Right.
essentially kill Clark. Yeah, I mean that would work. It just see now we're kind of running into the situation where the bad guy is not you know not super tough.
Right, because if they by any chance survive that kryptonite missile, Lex is fucked.
He's fucked.
Like really fucked.
I mean, Superman could even the missile could come and blow the cave up, and Superman can cover up Batman, right? Saves his life, but he's all fucked up.
What if they just stop fighting? Lex doesn't pop up on the screen, right? And they just stop fighting, and they just kind of Superman just flies away because he realized he's been duped.
Yeah,
he's been duped big time. So he gets out of there. Or Clark has been duped big time.
Yeah,
because he was the one doing the research, and he's trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
I got you. So he's like Anakin almost.
So he goes back.
And Luke's,
so he goes
what do
back.
You mean?
He goes back and starts looking through his notes. Right. He starts looking through his paperwork, back at his apartment. Mm-hmm. Wayne, Batman gets up, kind of not broken, but bruised really badly all over from getting the shit beat out of him by Superman. He starts researching the bomb because he didn't know about it, right? Because that was the first time he heard about it.
Right.
Or no, not the first time he heard it, but the first time he heard that he was the one.
He was the one that was
Batman was the one.
The blame.
Right, but he didn't know that part of it. So he starts researching it and starts going out and trying to find answers from crooks and criminals or whatever, if they know what's going on, who started the rumor, and he has to trace it all the way back. Traces all the way back to Marcy.
Right.
In
the bodyguard.
In a bum outfit.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
In a bum outfit, telling somebody, and because Batman has the Bat computer, he can basically, hack into any security system.
Right.
And check and facial recognize Marcy there.
So he starts thinking in his mind all this, he starts putting all these pieces together. You see how Batman's brain works because
as the world's greatest
detective, exactly. And Clark is a fairly good reporter, but he uses his powers essentially to do research. It's not.
But there's been times where Clark has been a good investigative reporter, but because he had been investigating it for so long already, he didn't have to start from the very beginning where Batman did.
Right.
He just sort of went there. And what would have been cool is, do we actually take Lex Luthor in already? I want to find a way that Lex doesn't get caught. I almost want to be
he can get caught and put in jail because he always finds a way out.
No, that's not the point. But I want this Lex Luthor to be
or he's got good lawyers that get him out in the next movie.
I want this Lex Luthor to be smarter than all of them, smarter than Bruce, smarter than Clark, and
that's a good point.
Find a way where those two know that Lex is bad, but they can't prove it.
Yeah,
there's no way of proving it because Marcy might take one. She takes one for the team and gets arrested, and they try to question Lex on it, and he has no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
But even though he did it.
So I see what you're saying. So basically, Lex has been pulling all the strings. He still essentially gets them to fight each other, but in hoping that they would kill each other.
Right.
So that he can reign over the city, essentially.
Right. Or move into Gotham.
Move into Gotham, right. Because that was the whole idea was to move in there and start taking over piece by piece.
Yeah, not a world domination thing.
Right.
Not an end of
real
the world
estate
thing.
Bullshit.
Not real estate either. Well, technically, if he's moving into
It
Gotham.
is, but it's a better way to do real estate. Is to actually buy shit, not blow shit up and then turn it into something.
Fire a crystal into the water.
Yeah.
So
the hard part is actually in the script doctoring session is to figure out, what the main
is that a good enough ending though?
I don't know. It's kind of weak sauce almost.
It is.
A
It
little
is pretty
bit.
weak because there's no giant ending, and we hate giant endings.
Hate garbage flying in the air. Like Wonder Woman, as far as I'm concerned, did not need to be.
We could centralize the whole movie, just selling it on the fact that Batman, Batman and Superman are on the screen for the first time, and they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
But change it into like almost like a crime thing. Like they're trying. It was like almost like trying to solve a crime, finding out that like at the end it's fucking Kaiser Sose was sitting in front of you the whole time. Like that's the type of like
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
but Lex gets away with it.
Right.
Like I almost want like an ending shot to be like Bruce in the rain, or in like in a like dead of night, and Superman, flies over and says like, and Batman looks up at him and says, like, "What took you so long? I figured this shit out like 2 hours ago or something."
Right. Yeah.
And I almost want it to be like them coming to a realization that they don't have anything on Lex Luthor. Like I don't know how to get there, basically because we're spitballing this shit.
Yeah. That's the hard part.
But I want to get to the point where I wanted to get to the story where they know how bad Lex is or what he did this one thing, and they're trying to figure out how much more stuff that they can find out about Lex, because him to be able to pull all the strings that he pulled to try to get Batman and Superman to fight, and knowing all that stuff, like he must be doing a lot of shitty. Like this isn't the first time he's done this,
Right?
Something like this, right? And I almost feel like it's almost like an anticlimactic ending, but in a good way, where the bad guy gets away with it.
Yeah.
And the two heroes that we've established in the very beginning of the movie are both smart and resilient and brilliant. That this guy, bested them both.
I like that version a lot better than Martha. Okay, yeah, we're best friends now. You like the color blue? I like the color blue. Let's be friends.
Or right before that, that happens, and then like the ending shot is actually like Bruce getting on his private jet, and right before that, Clark Kent shows up to the airport and talks to the outside hangar where the rich people keep their planes. He's out there talking to Bruce about it, and says some dialogue like, "Yeah, we don't have anything. I checked. He's not tied to anything. I can't find anything, but something's not right." And Superman's like, "I know.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on him or whatever." And they shake hands, and Bruce is like, if you need me, you know where to
You know where to find me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a callback to Superman showing up to his Batcave.
Right.
So
So it establishes that. Now, what kind of end credits will we have? It's like, well, see, the thing is like, I like having the standalone movie, but also at the same time, you have to kind of put in some.
This is definitely the slow
something.
way.
Yeah,
this is definitely the slow version
It's a slow
of getting
burn.
the Justice League.
Right.
This is a really well. I mean, I feel like the ending, the whole reveal, that we're missing that. I understand that we're missing that, but I'm having a hard time because we are spitballing. We literally spitballed this entire movie,
And it's late at night, so we're getting tired.
but I think it's a lot better movie than
I think the whole beginning part is a lot better.
Yeah,
like establishing the characters is a lot better.
Yeah, I just need to find a way to get it to make sense that they figure it out, but they can't prove it, and they're stuck, and Lex kind of wins. I almost wanted to have that like Empire Strikes Back feeling.
Yeah, kind of.
Like there's nothing you can do to Lex Luthor. Basically, at that point in time, there was nothing they could do to save Han.
Right.
So, or defeat the Empire. So, like, I want that like defeated. Like, fuck, they're just better than us.
Right.
And that's what I want with Superman and Batman, to have that feeling of like, fuck, he's just smarter than us. I can't find any. Because remember, you established that he's the world's greatest detective, right?
Right.
And now at the end, those words hold even more true when Batman's like, I can't find anything on him. There's nothing.
So what if at the end, they do some sort of Joker thing where Superman or Clark Kent's like, hey, I heard that this is possibly.
Your end credit scene.
Okay.
It's Lex Luthor by himself in his giant mansion, drinking like expensive, like whiskey or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's he's sitting in front of a campfire. He's in like a really expensive smoking jacket. He's just like, he's got a deadpan face, He takes one last sip of his whiskey, takes a deep breath, and puts the whiskey glass down at the table and at the end table, and it pans over with his hand, and you see a giant piece of kryptonite there,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just ends.
But what about the Joker? Because Batman's looking for the Joker this entire time, and like he doesn't like find him, or maybe
What if the Joker card is a piece of playing card that says the Joker is sitting on top, being held up by like the rock?
the kryptonite.
Yeah.
So the Joker card's like flipped in front, or like stuck to it like a bow with a bow
No,
on
remember?
top.
Oh, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like a purple bow tie, like a present,
Yeah.
and the Joker card is on top. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But see, we have to hear, like, maybe in the background you hear a museum getting broken into and like a moon rock was stolen, like some shit. You got, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like something that during the movie that's not a big deal though.
Yeah.
You know, or no, you can actually in that same shot you can have Lex watching the news.
There you go.
And report that. And
Yeah.
then
Ding dong.
no, that's even no, not even
Yeah.
ding dong. He has the rock already there, right? And as he's watching it, he's looking at the news, reporting what he had already gotten like hours ago.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool right there.
Yeah.
So the shot now starts with Lex in that room, camp like a fire, watching TV, watching news. You don't see the rock. He takes the last sip of the whiskey. The camera pans with his hand over, and he puts the thing down. He puts the glass down, and there's the kryptonite with the purple and green bow tie on it with the Joker card. Yeah,
Stuck to the rock.
Yeah.
And then that's the end. So then you're like, oh shit, the next one.
is both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to. Yeah.
But we kind of stole that being together then from the cartoon, though.
A little bit. But that's okay. But I mean, they stole a bunch of stuff for the cartoon, but then they fucked it up. So
Right, Harley Quinn. So
when the cartoon's better than the movie,
that's a good end credit scene. But I'm still not liking how we get to.
and therein lies the problem, because
not
obviously, well, no, they're not. I mean, they're writers, but it wasn't good.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to figure out a way too. Why would Superman fight Batman? Like,
I think
why?
we figured out a pretty decent version.
Yeah.
Where it's not. It's more of like a misunderstanding, because again, you would really like these guys want to kill each other in this movie in Snyder's version, and two superheroes just don't want to kill other heroes, even if they are vigilantes or whatever.
So when the thing blows up, like they find a batarang at the scene of the crime, or they find something that implicates Batman, and that's why Superman needs to find
remember
him.
it was Clark researching a report, like investigating, and he would hear from his snitches that rumor has it that it was the Batman.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could do that. You need some physical evidence, though, too. You know,
Well, that's why Batman. That's why
Maybe
Superman's
Lex
not.
Luthor-
That's
maybe-
why Superman's not entirely sure and doesn't want to fucking kill him.
because like maybe Lex Luthor steals something off Batman, or steals something off Bruce and plants it at the explosion. You know, and so they're like, "Oh, it's the Bat," and then Superman's like, "Motherfucker, he finally did it. I need to find him." And then that's where
But
they
even
kind of
then, he still doesn't want to kill him.
no. In any version, he is not going to kill Batman.
Yeah,
in no version, he's
This
going
is
to kill him.
not Zack Snyder or Injustice.
He goes there. He's like, "You're coming with me," and Batman's like, "Fuck you, I'm not." And then he's like, "If I wanted to, I could just grab you and take you to jail,
not kill you.
Right? Exactly. And then he's just like, he just goes, "Bring it on, farm boy," you know, and can do the lead aerosol again, and then he's like, "Where are you?" And then he ends up in the he ends up in the suit, and then you end up fighting. You know, and it's just a drag out, like just Batman beating the shit out of him
until he starts getting his powers.
until he
back.
gets his powers back. You
Yeah.
know, and then
So, but that part, I think we were pretty good up until that part.
it's the end part.
Yeah.
We're having difficulty with because
Because-
Batman has to get away and disappear. You know, and then Superman, they have to meet again at the end somehow, or figure out that Lex is the one that's been pulling the strings this entire time.
There's basically going to be a montage of them like reporting again. I think. I don't know. It's going to be. It's a weird ending.
Yeah,
It's a very weird ending.
I think we have 75% of this movie done, so that's good enough.
But I'm kind of liking that it's weird. I just don't know if it's good weird.
I don't know.
Like an
But
odd
see,
placement.
the first half of it, you're establishing these characters, and of course, you got to have some sort of cool action in the middle where you have Superman doing something, you got Batman doing something, then eventually you have them fighting, then you have them fighting a big battle at the end because the whole fucking movie's called what? Batman versus Superman, not Batman versus Superman with a little bit of Wonder Woman fighting Doomsday and Lex Luthor in the background being a dickhead. That's not what the name of the movie is.
Eating
It's called
Jolly
Batman.
Ranchers.
Yeah, it's called Batman versus Superman.
Sticking Jolly Ranchers in old men's mouths. Fucking creepy little shit.
Grandma's piss, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so many things wrong with that script. It's insane, and we don't want any Flash Inception and all that horse shit.
That's nothing.
Or the video with all the Justice League people, you know, and even like. What was
Actually, we could still have
why
that,
was-
but Lex Luthor doing it.
Well, yeah, but why was Wonder Woman in the movie at all? Why? If you pull her out of the movie, it doesn't do anything. It really does nothing. What was she there for? She was at Lex's gala to do what?
To steal the
To
photo.
steal information to get
photo.
her photo back.
Right.
That's fucking stupid. That is really stupid.
Well, it kind of blows the. It kind of like. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to introduce her in a completely different way, but also don't have her coming back at the end fighting. I want to see her. Okay, if Wonder Woman wasn't as good as it was, I would have totally blamed. I would have been like, oh man, like we already saw her established and all that stuff fighting, and now we get this movie or whatever. The fact that Wonder Woman was so good, I totally dismiss Batman v Superman. I'm like, that's not the first time I saw her. I don't care.
What if we had a second after credit scene where where Bruce is late at night? It's late at night. Bruce is like, you know, going through files. TV's just on in the background for noise, and it's the History Channel, and they're doing World War I famous battles.
Oh shit! And they showed that picture.
And no, they don't show Wonder Woman.
Oh,
It says World War One, and it's a, you know, they somehow talk about some kind of like myth or something that happened. Somebody, I don't know,
warrior woman.
yeah, something like that, but like not those
Turn the
words.
tide of the ward.
Yeah, something like that, and it's in black and white, right? It's a black and white footage, and then all of a sudden it pans outward. Right, and now it's full blown like stuff, and the way that they film it is, you know, that now you're back in World War I, and all of a sudden you see like a lasso coming from like left to right, and you see like the Germans in like bad German accents speaking. It's like she's here. And then it just
the camera
goes black. Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to do it. Versus the video showing Aquaman about ready to drown and
and the Flash like basically destroying the entire
convenience store.
Yeah, the damage that he does to the convenience store.
Might as well just let it get robbed.
Yeah, it was cheaper. You actually cost him more money.
Well, we got 80% of the movie done. At least. The other 20%, you know, it's just. I'm sure this is the same problem that they had. I feel that way.
But
I feel that way now.
I feel like we have a better movie though.
Yeah,
I feel like we fixed a lot of issues. So we definitely doctored the shit out of this.
We medical marijuana the shit out of this.
It's much better now for consumption. It's much better. It's much smoother now for your suppository. It's like I was just thinking of The Princess Bride when I said suppository for like smoother suppository, and they're like painting chocolate on shit this time.
He's just mostly dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, that was our script doctoring. Batman versus Superman: The Dawn of Justice. I still dawn. Anywhere in this movie is there dawn? It's all like dark. The entire movie. There's no dawn.
I think when Superman decides to go backpacking, it's dawn on top of that mountain that he meets his dead.
But see,
dad.
dawn in this sense means beginning, right?
I know.
Beginning of Justice. What about Dawn of the Justice League?
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, it's too long.
It's too long a title. Dawn of Jenna Malone. Dawn of Jenna.
There's still people
Wait,
out there
that sounds like a porno.
There's still people. There's still people out there that say that the extended version is like it explains so much more.
Yeah, about a bullet.
About a bullet.
Yeah. That's exactly why Batman
I'm not
wants
having
to fight
any
Superman.
bullets. There's no bullets in this movie. In our movie, there's none.
Batman is not picking up a gun.
Ever. Oh my gosh. That'd be funny if, like, while he's fighting Superman, he takes the grappling hook.
He won't even play dunk cut. In our version. Won't even play dunk cut.
Like, he takes his grappling hook and he shoots it up in the air and he shoots up, and then Superman just flies up and goes, like, what was that for? Where are you going? Yeah, and also in our version, like, if Batman is going after people that are shooting at him, Superman's not going to stop him and then not go after those other guys.
Yeah, we fixed that problem the first time they met, where he tells that guy, like, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
You have a head start. It doesn't matter where you're going. I'm going to find you.
Oh, and that'd be a cool end credit scene for Superman where you see that guy robbing somebody and he's just like, hey, remember me?
Or he's like hiding out in like a dumpster.
Yeah.
And the whole dumpster lifts.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then Superman drops the dumpster off at the police station.
Yeah, and he wakes up and he's like in the courtyard and he's like, what? That's just like Christopher Reeve one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. We need some callbacks. Definitely in our
ones.
script, we'll have some callbacks to like, because we're writing this right now and it's going to get made.
This is all trademarked, by the way.
Actually,
this entire script is trademarked.
Yeah, honestly, if we were the Flash, we would like race back and hand this script in and then race forward again and then go see it.
Well, that would really ruin a lot of our material in the past year.
Suicide Squad's better.
Yeah, everything's better.
Wonder Woman sucks.
Yeah, Superman's still alive. Oh, it's like alternate version where Wonder Woman sucks, right? And Batman and Superman reign supreme again. But the reality is that Wonder Woman's awesome and Batman and Superman suck.
Superman's con. What?
He's like, aloha mora.
Like mixing genres.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It would make just as much sense.
Use the Force, Bruce. And he's like, what?
Bruce talks into his watch like Knight Rider.
The Batmobile like talks back.
Yeah, and for some reason, it's like Baywatch in his pool. Like Pamela Anderson's there with Hasselhoff. Oh,
who wrote this piece of shit?
And Mr. Belvedere is the butler, not Alfred. It's Mr. Belvedere.
Oh God!
Bob Uecker needs to make an
Bob
appearance.
Uecker.
He's commentating.
I must be sitting in the front row.
He's commentating the Gotham Knights game.
Oh my God!
And then all of a sudden you see Forrest Gump running
for a touchdown. This is so stupid. Oh.
That's the second script we turn in.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump is racing the Flash in track. That's good stuff.
Oh my God! All right, that's enough of that shit. Until next time, folks. Chew on that.
Later.